Okay, what's up, you guys? Let me put on my mic. Okay. My brightness is too low. Okay, there we go. Now you guys can actually see me. What's going on, you guys? I'm here early because I can be. I finished dinner early, so I'm here. How are y'all doing? We're gonna talk about some real world news. I came to you guys earlier and we talked about pop culture tea, and I told you guys that I wanted to have the real world news. Hi, welcome in. The real world news segment in another segment. So that's what we're doing now. I'm gonna talk about the economy, unemployment, the government, retail stores closing. Happy Thursday. What's up, Perk? Good to see you here. So we're gonna talk about just like some real life shit, because there's some stuff going on. I got my mic today. Sometimes I forget it because it's comfortable to talk without it. I have to like hold this up the whole time. It's not super heavy, but it's great when I don't have to carry something. But I really want my sound to be A1. So yeah, I'm coming to you with the mic. Are you ready? I'm just looking up because with this light, I'm still kind of learning the ins and outs. Anywho, Um, so I just want to give you a general beginning. I definitely have been watching what's going on in the economy, of course. Um, I know it's rough out there for a lot of people. A lot of people are going homeless because they cannot find a job. You know, trying to find a job in 2025 is, damn near impossible. It takes several months. If you leave your job, it takes several months to find a new one. Like, it's giving 2 to 3, sometimes 6 to 8 months to find a new job. And one thing I'm noticing when people are talking about job hunting and trying to find a job is they're being lowballed. Like, the offers are not as much as they should be. The offers are much lower than what they're gonna need. These jobs are not giving livable wage. What's up, Dion? Good to see you, bro. And I can attest to that. I feel like I'm very blessed with my job, but I definitely could make more money, especially for like the title that I have in the city that I live in. But it's just hard to find a job that's going to pay you certain wages in today's time. Are y'all noticing that? Are y'all seeing that? Like, that's the whole thing. But it's hard to find something. I, like a lot of you, I never really liked LinkedIn like that. Let me know your thoughts. Like, please comment your experiences, what's going on. Like, let me know. But I never really liked LinkedIn. Even when I was in college, like, they definitely pushed LinkedIn on us. And I just never liked the platform. Like, I never was like a big fan of LinkedIn. I always thought it was like whack. And because people used to, I don't know. I'm just not one of those people that clearly I'm a very unconventional person, right? And so what kind of turned me off is like they show you how many connections you have, and it's like people like, oh, I have hundreds of connections and 500 plus connections, and it's just like I feel like when you display certain things, it kind of takes the merit out of it, and people will just like, oh, let's connect on LinkedIn just so they can have like a lot of connections, and that makes them look successful and well connected, even though they barely know half the motherfuckers, even though they don't talk to those people. They may have run into them one time at an event. Like, I don't know. Yeah, that ass job scene is a mess. So yeah, never really fucked with LinkedIn. Also, just the jobs on there, I feel like LinkedIn has used to have decent jobs, but I never really liked just their job platform. I feel like with LinkedIn, sometimes when I'm on there, you know what? Same. Dead ass perk. I've never got a job off there. I get all my jobs off of Indeed. Now, the one that I have recently, it was like direct, like I applied directly, but I don't work in the private sector anymore. But um yeah, I don't get jobs off of LinkedIn. I just don't. Now, what I used to miss is when I was like in college, um, this private school, I started off at a private school, and they had their own like job portal, and we could go on there and like see who was like companies that had like put a post up in the city. And I used to really like that because it just felt more exclusive. Like, I definitely feel like with job boards, the more exclusive, the better. Because that's kind of why we are seeing the degradation of LinkedIn and Indeed, is because everybody's on there. You know, like job boards have like an expiration date. Like, growing up, it used to be like Monster. People would go to like monster.com to like find jobs. They used to have commercials all the time. And now it's like LinkedIn and Indeed. I don't really feel like with none of it. I know a lot of people who also work white collar jobs have been talking about Indeed in a negative way, because they're saying that like people are on Indeed, um, just doing a lot of like glazing, for lack of a better term. Like, they're on LinkedIn, like somebody, they made like a post like, oh, like here's what my divorce taught me about B2B sales, or like something stupid like that. Yeah, it's a lot of people on there just doing too much. Like, it's too social media. Somebody was also talking about like, they do like these like posts like when they get fired or laid off, like they thank the company and they make like a big long post about it. It's like, yo, they just let your ass go. Shut the fuck up. There's no need to like kiss ass. They don't give a fuck about you. You know what I mean? Like, it's giving humiliation ritual. So yeah, LinkedIn is whack. Indeed, whack too. Indeed used to be lit, but they don't have anything good on there. So one theory that I had was that Indeed was merged with AI, because I feel like you see a lot of like, at least for me, I'll see a lot of the same job posts that have been on the platform for either months, or they just keep getting relisted. I've noticed that with Indeed. So no, it's not the same. It's definitely a different platform. It used to be super easy to go on Indeed, apply, get a bunch of replies, get a bunch of interviews set up, get a job easily. Now it is not that. It's not a lot of jobs, not a lot of jobs on there, not a lot of good jobs on there, and they definitely like aren't as responsive. So job boards are whack. Now what I really want to talk about was the unemployment rate, because for a while the Biden administration was saying that, oh, the unemployment rate is only 4%. Come to find out, it's actually you know what, right, Perk, you're onto something. But allegedly the job unemployment rate is actually 24%, which I believe it, because I always knew that they were lying about the numbers of unemployment, because when I go online, like I'm on Reddit too. Like, I read Reddit every now and again. And when I go on Reddit, and when I go on TikTok, and when I come on YouTube, so many people are looking for a job. So many kids just graduated and are looking for their first like adult job. So many people. So many people left a toxic workplace, or they're in transition and they can't find something else. So many people. And it's like, if that many people are looking for a job, then the unemployment rate is much higher than what y'all are saying. Like, I have seen some shit. Like, it's getting real out here. People are sleeping out their car, moving back in with their parents, getting evicted, don't know how they're gonna like eat. Like, it is some real hardcore shit going on in America. Real shit. And the news won't talk about it. You have to go to social media platforms, or go to YouTube. You have to go to like other places to find real news, because the news isn't talking about how much Americans are truly being affected by what's going on in the economy right now. And like you know what I told my mom this? I said when Biden was in office, I said they're gonna wait until Trump gets in office to acknowledge how bad the economy is, because they want Biden's presidency to have they want history to be that, oh, under him unemployment was so low and jobs were so plentiful and they created all these jobs and he had a great run, when that's not the reality. But they're going to wait till Trump comes in office and then they're going to say, oh, the economy is so bad, as if the economy can go from super great to super shitty with one inauguration day or with one election. You know what I mean? So they're not going to acknowledge all of the damage that Biden did to the economy over the last 4 years. They're just not going to acknowledge it. They're going to leave it to Trump to fix, and then they're going to also blame it on him for being the one that broke it. Blossom, that's interesting. Very interesting. I'm gonna write that down. Y'all be catching shit. Okay. Yeah, I wrote that down. I'm gonna look into that. But yeah, I do believe that the unemployment rate is about 24%. So many people are underemployed or do not have a job, are struggling to find a job. Degrees do not matter right now. Like, they don't. You can have all the degrees in the world. They're still going to underpay you. You're still going to, you're still going to be underpaid, and you're still just like going to be underworked too. You're going to be underemployed. Yeah, I mean, you really clocked that. Like, Blossom, I'm telling you, I'm like, but it's stuff like that that people miss. Like, Blossom, just off topic, did you see the community post? I post that comment from that person on Insta who was talking about Jello, New Orleans, and the Tweaker song. That shit was crazy. I was like, yo, like, they are woke as fuck. I didn't catch that. I mean, I knew there was something too. I knew there was like something going on there, but they caught it. They were able to like, catch it and articulate it. Yeah. Well, just enjoy the ride. You can, if you want to go check it out now, you can. But it'd be great if you stay for the live. But so let me see what else. Unemployment is high. Getting a job is a fucking quest in today's day and age. It's like looking for the fucking holy grail, okay? You're gonna run into some obstacles. Now, with that being said, we're also watching the degradation of the government. Now, I've been telling you all for a while. I've mentioned the concept of new founding fathers a few times. With Elon, and mainly with him, I've been telling you guys, new founding fathers is a thing. And if you recall, if it sounds familiar, you've heard about it in the Purge movies, like in the Purge franchise. The whole reason why the Purge was even like popping off is because they had new founding fathers. They were talking about how America was so down bad. America had high crime, unemployment. I believe niggas was broke and destitute and getting violent. And so to stop all of that, they issued new founding fathers and they made the Purge. But even with that, a good amount of the Purge was built off of capitalism and the economy and trying to eliminate the poor class. Like, if you really think about it, that's the whole reason why they even created the Purge. Because again, people were spazzing out because they were broke. That's why we see crime has been up over the last couple of years, because the economy has been fucked for years. It's just getting worse. But the economy, I knew the economy was like kind of funky around like 2022. The economy was fucked up because I noticed like everybody was buying an overpriced house. Yeah, dead ass Dion. I noticed when like people were buying, like when the housing this was like what, like COVID, like post-COVID time. Everybody was buying a house, and homes were going for like a lot. Like homes were going for like 500K, 600K. Like people were spending a shit ton of money on homes. And I knew right then and there, I was like, a crash is coming, because the banks are issuing too much debt. They just are. The banks are issuing too much debt because homes are so pricey. Most Americans do not make that much money. So if somebody makes 80 grand a year and you're letting them buy a $500,000 house, even like a $400,000 house, you are issuing too much debt. You are setting them up for the kill. It was the same thing that was happening back in '08 with the adjustable rate mortgages. They were issuing too much debt, and they were doing it under the guise of, oh, the rates are gonna, you know what I'm saying, just adjust and all of that. And so everybody was buying a fucking house, and when the rates did adjust, they couldn't fucking afford their payment. Their payments were going up thousands overnight. That's when I realized, because again, I did go to business school, or I went to college for business. That's when I realized, okay, the banks do this because they don't give a fuck. They're going to keep flipping the debt. So when you foreclose, they're going to like issue another mortgage to somebody else. And like they've made principal plus interest off of you. And then they foreclose. And then when you can't make payments anymore, when you default, they're going to foreclose. That's your ass. That's your credit. They're going to take their shit back. It's their security. That's the leverage. And then they're going to sell it again with another mortgage to another buyer. And that starts the process of the loan and the payments all over again. And so they're going to make more money. They're going to make money either way. They're going to issue another loan with another interest rate. And then, you know what I mean? And then they're going to keep flipping the debt. They're going to consistently make money. That's why I was like, that's why they don't give a fuck how much they tear up the market. Because tear up, you know, they don't care. Because they're just like, bitches, it's debt. We just gonna flip it again and again and again and again and again. And that's how like people like the Rothschilds are so rich, because they give out loans with like terms and conditions and like, you know, rates where it's really hard to pay the loans off. So you're gonna be paying forever, and that make you can become a debt slave, and you're gonna always be making payments. So that's just how that works. But the purge again was talking about how just the poverty class, people being in a lot of poverty, was making them violent, because that's what people do when they can't eat. They lash out, and so they issued the purge to try to just get rid of the poor people so they would have less problems. And that's why with time, it became a thing where the rich people were paying poor people. They're like, oh, we'll pay your family if you allow us to purge. Because it was showing that like some rich people have a kink or like a fetish for, they're sadistic. Like they get pleasure from hurting others. And they're willing to pay for it. Super sick. But the film was definitely predicting a lot of shit that we see now. Now, I wanted to mention that because I feel like I've been telling you guys about Trump, Elon, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, and Bill Gates. I definitely believe that if not all of them are our new founding fathers, then at least 3 of them are. Bill Gates is getting very involved in like the food and the agriculture and farm industry. Mark Zuckerberg is continuing to push technology. Elon Musk is trying to, you know, make Neuralink, and he's released Tesla bots. And he's also, again, all involved in the government nowadays. Jeff Bezos is the king of retail. He has reshaped retail drastically. So e-commerce and the retail industry, he's really had an effect on. And so these are like the top, you know, basically like billionaires are going to be the new founding fathers. Just catch that. Now, with Elon and Trump, I think I've mentioned before. Oh my God. Right. It is giving Four Horsemen vibes. What's up, Kaylee? It is. But with Elon and Trump, I think I've mentioned before that it kind of reminds me of American Horror Story when the Greys approached Eisenhower because they offered them technology in exchange for being able to experiment on humans. And the goal was to actually overtake the human race. Now, with Elon, it's been talked about that he might be a gray. And with the way that he's gotten all involved in Trump's presidency, it's pretty obvious that a deal has been made, an alliance has been made, and that Trump is getting something from letting Elon pretty much like do his job. Elon has created a whole nother department in the government, and they are drastically shaking shit up. They want to get everybody deported, which I'm behind. I'm over it. Like, because again, as Americans, we cannot go to other countries and freeload. That shit is only popping off here. It's an issue in the UK too. In Europe, they're having that problem too. But we are taking it to the next level and allowing people who don't pay taxes to just run a fucking muck. We gotta chill. But these two, between the ICE raids and Department of Education and the IRS and no more train station people, and the list goes on, they have really got to work extremely fast on changing things, which I think is actually good, because usually politicians will take years, if they ever do actually implement a fraction of the change that they said they were going to. The things that they use as their platform to get elected are very rarely actually worked on, thought about, or implemented while they're in office. You know how politicians are. They'll tell you, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I wanna do that. They'll tell you about their fucking dream, and then they'll get elected, and then you'll see it was all a dream. Okay, and your ass need to wake up. Pretty much. Right, Gulf of America, like all of that shit, right? The tariffs, everything, like they got straight to work. Now, they're talking about they want to, they're cutting a lot of federal jobs. They want to abolish the Department of Education. I'm behind that. The Department of Education needs to go away. They exist, and the kids are not getting any smarter. And as a parent, you should be taking your child's education into your own hands. Like, you shouldn't be relying on the school to do everything. The school can't do everything. They're with your kid majority of the day, but it's not their responsibility. They don't love your kid. Your kid is not their child. It's not their responsibility to teach your kid every little thing. Your child should be coming to school with some prior knowledge, right? The kids are actually slow. They have no attention span. They're slow. They're fucking crazy. Like, these kids are different. Like, I used to tutor 7th grade math for like briefly before I got the job I have now. And I was scared. I'm like, these kids are fucking crazy. Really though. These kids are a lot. But as a parent, you need to be fucking involved. You need to be involved and engaged. And if you're not, then you've already handed your child over to Moloch and Ball. So with the Department of Education, it needs to go away. School ain't teaching no real shit. Hey, what's up, Kent? Good to see you. With Department of Education and with schools and the education system, the children are learning about liberal shit. Like, too much about like, gender and identity politics. These motherfuckers need to learn how to read. They need to learn how to count. Like, they have way bigger shit to focus on and worry about. There's some of the dumbass shit that school is wanting them to think about, focus on, talk about any of that. Like this country's education system has always been ass and is only getting worse. America has always been behind with education. Always. Our education could be a lot fucking better. So if they in the Department of Education, I will jump for joy because it's not doing shit anyway. It's not effective anyway. The kids can't even read, let alone do math. Reading for me was easy. Right. Right. Y'all are correct. The kids are not learning a damn thing. So that's the whole thing. They want to do that. And yes, with the IRS, they want to end the IRS. They need to end the IRS. The IRS is known to be scammers and thieves. Fuck them. Fuck the IRS. Like, they need to end them too. I don't give a fuck. Like, because again, if we are paying all these taxes, then America should be way more advanced. Like, we're paying so many taxes. Why the fuck don't we have, like I've been talking about with the plane crashes, why don't we have like a train system that runs through America? Why do you have to like drive, take the bus, or fly? We should have way more resources than we have. We're paying all these taxes and we still have all these homeless people all over the place that need resources, that need help. The IRS is running through our money, blowing bags, boats and hoes. Like, the IRS ain't shit. Fuck them. And it doesn't make any sense. I've always thought about it. It makes no sense to pay taxes and then to get a tax return. That makes no fucking sense. You could have just like kept your money in the first place. So yeah, fuck the IRS. They're scammers, they're thieves, and they don't make America better. They want to end the IRS. I think because Elon is there, then they might be able to pull it off. I think if it was just Trump on his own, he probably wouldn't be able to pull it off. But again, Elon Musk is clearly not like us, if you catch what I'm saying. So yeah, they want to do a lot. I'm just like, damn, abolishing the IRS. They want to end like income tax, and they want to take some of that extra money and like give out checks. Now, some people are against them giving out checks. I'm not. People need the money, bro. Like, and giving them money will stimulate the economy. Yes, a lot of people, absolutely, Hiba. A lot of people do need mental asylums. Like, that's a huge issue in America. We don't have enough resources for, again, the homeless. A lot of people who are homeless need to be in an asylum. They don't need to be in a shelter. They don't need to be in jail. They need to be in a mental institution. That way they can get the mental care that they need, and they can get the health care that they need. They can still get like their basic needs met. Like, when you think about it, like back in like the 50s and 60s and shit, you used to hear about like mental asylums all the time. And like now we don't have that. So yes, I totally agree here, but like, we need to bring back mental institutions. So many people need to be in one. And like, that alone would create jobs. Like, and that would clean up the streets of America. The streets out here look crazy. I live in a city that has a high homeless population. The streets of America look nuts. Homelessness has gone up across the country. America is not taking care of their people. We're not. Like, and again, we are paying a lot of money in taxes, and this country still looks fucking crazy. Absolutely. Yes, that's a huge problem. And it's shit like that why I feel like fuck the IRS. Like, yes, the government, let me tell you, I've worked for government agencies, or like, I've done like some government affiliated work. And the government, when people feel like it's not their money, and it's the public's money, and oh, it's not a private sector. Because like when you're in the private sector, the people are cheap because it's all about saving money. It's about saving money and maximizing profit. But when you are in we work with the government, you don't have to worry about profit and stuff like that. It's just like, bitch, we got money. And when people feel like they have a faucet of money that will never stop running, they go dumb with it. And that's why you do find so much fraud, waste, and abuse. And that's what Elon is trying to combat with Doge. And he needs to, because it's ridiculous. Like, the government wastes so much money. There's so much scamming, there's so much smoke and mirrors, there's so much just like deception within the government and finances. So it's got to stop. We need to actually, like, the government needs to, we are mismanaging money. The government does mismanage way too much money. And there are people who want to be smart asses and say, well, you can go online and see exactly where your money is going. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Because wherever is, I can go online and look all day at what a bitch say, and I can look around me and my eyes are not going to fucking lie to me. I'm just saying, I'm sick of it. Like, I can look, so you want me to go online and read what they have to say about my reality? Nigga, please. You can look around you and see the crumbling and the degradation of America and its society. The land, the people, the country, like, it's a mess. We got to do better. So, yes, and there's a lot of issues with drugs. Yes, perk. Sorry, I hate that I'm like yawning on you guys. It's been kind of a long day. But, no, we need to have a train system, and we definitely need to have more asylums and get these people off the streets, because that's no way to live. This country does need to truly reform and restructure how things are done and how money is spent, because there's too much bullshit going on. But of course, if you're one of the people that benefited from the lies, secrecy, deception, and fraud, of course you think that everything that's being said and proposed is fucking absurd. I have no time for it. Yes, Dion, because America is a corporation, and it benefits you in this country to be an entrepreneur. This country is not made for you to be an employee. You will get fucked everywhere from Sunday. When you're a business owner, you can write off everything. So this country favors business owners. Because when you work here, you know, you're never going to make as much as you should, because the business owner's got to make profit. So you're going to always be overworked, underpaid. That's just the nature of capitalism. Capitalism is about exploitation. So, dead ass. So yeah, I'm excited about the idea of the IRS going away and the idea of Department of Education going away. They can fucking go. But it's kind of sad though. It's like, damn, like, so many people are getting laid off. At one time, you would think that like a government job would be safe and stable. At one time, working in tech was like the thing to do. It was how you get money. And like now, like the world is turning on its head. Like now the tech people have no jobs. Now the federal workers are getting laid off too. There's layoffs everywhere. Yes, I've been peeped at. Private schools are gonna take over, and they need to. Like, this public school shit is lame. I always said to myself, I'm not having kids unless I can afford to put them in private school. I always knew I would never let my child, I don't have any kids, but I always knew if and when I ever do, I would never let them spend one day inside of a public school. I would never let that happen to them. Ever. Ever. I would never let that be their life. Hell to the no. So I was also hearing, and I've been peeped, that entrepreneurship is about to go up even higher, because it's hard for people to find jobs, and a lot of companies are hiring, what is it called? 1099 employees, where they don't have to give you health insurance. Like, you're a contract worker, you kind of work like when you want to work, or you work like on a project by project basis. Well, the black community, we're gonna have to figure it out. I don't give a fuck, because I know I'm gonna do what I need to do. The black community don't know how to organize, can't get it together. That's not my problem. I don't treat my life and my actions as a group collective. I do what I need to do for me. I think about me. I don't have any kids. I don't have anyone else to think about or consider but me. And the black people are too fucking divided. So, like, whatever they figure out is whatever the fuck they figure out. But should they better put two and two together? Because shit is not going to get any better. Bro, people... Yeah, private schools can be expensive, but not all of them are super high. All I'm saying is, look, education, and all private schools don't look the same. They have Montessori's, they have magnet schools, prep schools, but the people, again, if you really love your kid, you're 100% invested in their education and in their betterment, period. And Lord knows, the average American is too stupid to fucking homeschool, so I don't even want to hear that as an option. But I'm excited for the reform. This country has needed it. It's long overdue. America is behind and antiquated, and that's right, Hiba, dead ass. America is behind and antiquated. We need someone to shake the table. And I'm glad that Elon is doing that. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but he is creating some change that is very necessary and is a long time coming. Period. Very necessary. But again, it's just like, damn, people are getting laid off left and right. People are losing their job. And that should tell you, like I've been saying, AI is a lot more advanced than what they're telling you. That's why companies are laying off so much. Because they got the AI ready to go. They don't need you anymore. There's so much that's being hidden. Because again, like, just think about it. Yes, dead ass. But if you just think about it, right? Like, what are the odds that all these companies start laying off around the same time? Around the same time. And it's also around the time that AI is like making a debut into the public eye. That's because I've already told you guys, the technology that they release to us is far behind the technology that they have access to. So they are definitely equipped with the AI that is advanced enough to take majority of our jobs right this moment, but they have to ease people into it so they don't panic enough to fight the system and to go into like fight against. Just peep that. So yeah, glad that the government is changing. Necessary. Very necessary. Now also what somebody was saying, they were talking about like Donald Trump having a Kobe statue at like some event. You guys, what the fuck has Kobe Bryant done in life besides throw a ball through a hoop to deserve a fucking statue at whatever Donald Trump, I forgot where, but he's gonna get some kind of statue. Not necessary. I was like, I always wondered, like, people was going so hard when Kobe Bryant died, and it's just like, why? I'm not saying he didn't deserve people to grieve him, but y'all niggas act like he was, like a real man of dignity. Like, he was a basketball player. We don't used to see him really giving back, especially not to the black community. He wasn't like no activist, no philanthropist. He's not known for like donating a lot and like doing a lot of community service. He was a fucking basketball player. So everybody like, oh, Kobe. It's like, y'all niggas is weird. Same thing with Nipsey Hussle. People really, was doing too much when Nipsey died. It's like, where you niggas was when he was alive and trying to sell his music. Like, what the fuck? Hey, what's up, Lisa? I definitely believe that. That makes perfect sense. Um, let's talk about it, Perk. Thank you. Y'all giving some good commentary. Mm-hmm. You're right, Hiba. I mean, thank you all. Y'all got some good. There's some good takes, but I'm over it. I feel like Kobe was just another human being like everybody else. So all of this like Kobe praise is a little bit weird. It's strange, and I don't understand it. Um, I want to talk about. Oh yeah, also, Elon has a 13th kid allegedly. Y'all, these bitches is birds. The bitches who keep getting pregnant by him are strange. They're birds. They're weirdos. Something wrong with them. It's very obvious that Elon is having children for a reason. Now, some people think that he wants to like try to further the white race and all this other stuff. No, Elon is a fucking alien allegedly, and he's trying to spread the fucking world with his alien DNA. Okay. I'm just gonna take another note. Yeah, they want to get money, but Elon don't even be tricking off on bitches like that. Like that Grimes is not getting no money from him. Sorry, I'm taking notes. Somebody said look into the bio digital convergence. And I've been working today. I posted in the community post about the clone robots. And they're making like synthetic humans, like real weird shit. Mm-hmm. It's going down. It's definitely like a weird time. It's a weird era. But yeah, she's a bird and she's not gonna get as much money as she thinks she's gonna get. Like, what a clown. I wanna talk about Neiman Marcus closing. That shit is crazy. Now, I knew they've been having problems. Sorry, my hair itches. I knew they've been having problems for a while. They've been bankrupt since pre-COVID. They were like billions in debt. And you know that they were mismanaging funds because Neiman Marcus has a lot of markups. Like things at Neiman's cost more than they do at other places. And them niggas still had to file for bankruptcy. That's how you know you're doing it wrong. Like Neiman Marcus was out here down bad. And I know that they had finally sold to Saks, but that did not stop like their major store in Dallas from closing their doors. That just goes to show that retail is continuing to die. A slow, painful death. So many retailers are done. So many retailers are gone away. But that's because we are entering a new era. The things that used to be hot are not anymore. And this, I'm going to connect this with the pole shift. So some people online have been saying that we're going through a pole shift. And I've heard about this before. Like there's, North Pole, South Pole, there's like lines and energies and poles like in the earth. And when those poles are changing, we see chaos and things flip on their head. And so part of the pole shift, I believe, is yes, like because you know what? I had watched a video too a couple years back that was talking about when we're going through a pole shift, we see like certain celebrities like die or go away, and it's because like they're jumping in like a bunker because they're not going to be in like the new world. And I think that's definitely what's going on here. This stuff with Diddy and anybody else that has gotten in trouble recently, and they're being condemned, it's that pole shift. Even Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, like they're getting swept up by the pole shift. They have royally embarrassed themselves. And the pole shift also explains the really crazy weather because it is so fucking cold. And it's about to be March. And Punxsutawney Phil's fat ass said that he saw 6 more weeks of winter. What a fat bitch. He's a cute little groundhog, but I don't be liking when his ass talk about how he sees more winter. I don't be feeling that. I hate winter. I hate cold weather. But it is giving pole shift vibes. And again, part of that pole shift is just the things that were hot in the old world are done. And I definitely think we're going through a pole shift because we're in the age of Aquarius now, or the age of Horus. Because Horus is the Antichrist. And it is said, no shade, but it's been talked about that the Antichrist will be in Aquarius. Aquarius are all about the collective, the people, and the Antichrist is going to have to be loved by the people. So it just makes perfect sense. And somebody was saying that with Trump represents one of the trumpets that was sounded off in the book of Revelations. It all makes too much sense. It adds up too perfectly. Him, Elon, everything, the presidency, Babylon, it just adds up too well. It adds up too well. So I think we are going through a pole shift. Again, crazy ass weather. Somebody was also mentioning like the beached whales, I think in Australia. Weird. The whales willingly like doing self-deletion. Very, very weird. And yes, the closing of like mega retail giants. Again, Party City, Big Lots, several others, and now Neiman Marcus, which is just showing that whether they were a luxury business or not, their asses are all having problems. And the thing is, Saks is going through it financially too. They're not paying their vendors. But again, like retail is just such an outdated business because they refuse to change and like update their practice and like how they do things. It's a lost cause. Like you cannot be like, the retail industry is not innovative, whether it's luxury retail or whether it's non-luxury. It's just not a very innovative, futuristic, forward-thinking industry, and that's why they're getting swept up. Again, people like I mentioned Diddy, Neiman Marcus, and just a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is just not going with us into this new world. Pretty much is what I'm saying. Quincy Jones, who just passed away, they're not going with us into the new world. So buy Neiman's, and the gag is, remember the CEO was talking about how they want to focus on like their top rich customers, and he made like a very pretentious comment. And now look at them. Broke as fuck, closing their doors, going out sad and embarrassed all over the internet. Fuck them. And then let's talk, and also again the plane crashes. So I was talking to Taylor earlier, and she was talking about like how people have asked her about the plane crashes, and she was saying she kind of thinks about it like, what if your phone was on do not disturb? And I was like, that is so true, because she was saying it has something to do with like interference. And I've been telling y'all, I think we are literally in a war right now that America won't talk about out loud because they don't want us to panic. But with the airplanes, it's giving, attack. It's giving war energy because it's just unnatural. But of course, most Americans won't even think about that unless they're told that. Or unless, but who would be the enemy? Well, I know that we got some issues with them Asians over there. Allegedly. So but I definitely feel like there's something going on with the planes. I mean, clearly. And some people said it was the pole shift. Like the planes can't function right because like they need, like they have to get like traffic controls and like their ear and stuff like that. Like they have to like know like a map of the sky. But because there's interference, I guess it's getting in the way of like them reading the map and reading directions and stuff like that, and it's causing problems. So it is giving like some kind of interference, weird tease with the plane crashes. But I definitely believe that somebody said the pole shift has something to do with it. It's kind of obvious to see. America is completely screwed up from the floor up. This country is botched. So the plane crashes are weird. Like, is something, is the government doing something they ain't got no business doing? But somebody said that they believe that it was like a certain kind of person that was on these planes. Like they believe that it's PDF files and that it's like bad people, and that could be a thing. But it's just something that's strange about the constant plane crashes. It's like something going on here. Again, we either getting attacked by something, or this is a plan or preparation for something else. But I definitely believe, again, the idea of pole shift, because you can feel the pole shift. You can see that this country is changing. And again, part of the pole shift too is just, again, like the ending of things like Department of Education, the IRS, and the bringing in of new systems, because these people, like, part of the Antichrist job is to set the stage for Satan himself to have his way and do his thing and finish out his plan. And I feel like with the world right now, because it's even been talked about, okay, with the extra money, they're talking about, oh, we're gonna give y'all $5,000 checks. With the extra money that they clean up from either the IRS or any other government agency that has been wasting money and overspending, when they clean up that money, they want to give people a check. And it's like, see, like, they're preparing you for UBI. They're cutting things, they're getting things in order. They're doing what they got to do for UBI to come into play. It's very obvious. That's why people can't find a job, because your job low-key already been automated. That's why you see all of the fake job posts, and they keep, I've heard about this too, where they'll post a job, they'll relist it, and then they will relist it for paying less money. And they do want to see just how little money you'll take for the job. But a lot of these companies really aren't hiring. They're data mining so that they can know how many robots they need and what kind of robots they need and how soon they'll need them. That's why there's no real jobs, no jobs out there anymore, because a lot of this shit is already automated. You don't have a job to go back to. You don't have a job to apply to. People are going to need UBI because, like somebody said, working, it will be a privilege. Working will be a privilege. There won't be that many companies still kicking, and there won't be as much opportunity, and you'll just have to, again, some people will get left behind and they'll need the UBI. Most people will. That's the goal, is to turn America into a welfare state where they do what? Where they get the chip, and then from there they can buy and sell. So it's just kind of obvious to just catch the play. All this government money and stuff like that, y'all, they're about to issue an UBI. Just peep. So, okay, let me, one more thing. I almost forgot. So I'm hearing about, like, this emergence of designer cafes, like Dior, Coach, and a couple other, like, high-end designers are opening cafes. And they're doing that because food and going out to eat, and, like, even something as simple as a coffee, is the real luxury. And that's becoming the luxury. Being able just to feed yourself and eat is becoming a luxury within itself. That's why you see that. That's why you see the emergence of designers opening up cafes. Because why are designers going into the fucking food business, the hospitality, the service business? You know what I'm saying? They're speaking to you. Also, people don't have as much money as they did. The economy's in hell. And so they're not selling as many expensive purses and expensive shoes anymore. And so a great business to be in is where people can still, that's why a lot of designer brands have, like, makeup and perfume, is because those are, like, some of, like, the cheap ways, like the cheap entry points into the brand. Kind of like sometimes people will buy, like, designer belts, or they'll buy, like, again, like, entry-level items, accessories like keychains, beanies, scarves, again, perfume and makeup. That gives the average consumer a way to have the luxury experience. And so now, you're right, Lisa, that ass, like, a lot of the fake shit do look like the real shit. But now it's like with the cafes and stuff like that, again, food is becoming the luxury, and they still need to make money even in a very fucked up time. Yeah, Hiba. Definitely a bad sign. Definitely. And the designers are always ahead of the curve. You know, they are definitely gatekeepers, and they definitely set the tone. They help set the tone in the culture. So just peep that. But with that being said, I'm getting off of here. Thank you guys for joining me for a night live. I'm going to give you another live soon. You already know how this goes, but this is my second live in one day. Plus, I worked. So, you know, I'm sleepy. I'm very tired, but I really appreciate, again, you guys being here with me tonight. I will continue to do my thing, post, and come on here. So have a great evening. Stay safe, stay warm, and until next time, bye everyone.